Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot, back with the daily cards for the 1st of August 2017. How are we in August already? It's just, this year has gone, last year seemed to drag so much, and this year is just flying, absolutely flying. So, happy August for you. Right, okay. I'm going to have to be quick today because I'm way behind, and so sometimes I write notes and stuff like that. I haven't today, so it's just seeing what comes up. But I just want to say before I start, massive, huge thank you to everybody that writes me messages and sends me messages. I've woken up to some beautiful ones this morning, and I just want to take the time to say thank you. I've been that busy that I haven't got time to reply to all the comments like I normally do, but it's, they all get read. And like I say, I'm massively, massively grateful for the people that watch this channel, the people that subscribe to it, the people that like it, and the people that share it, and can you please carry on doing that as well? Can you please like, share and subscribe, because this helps this channel massively, and it helps me to be able to carry on giving these messages as well, so like I say, it's hugely appreciated, the love that I get anyway, but if we can just sort of like spread a little love as well. Okay, so right, today, really strange. I didn't understand why I was getting the song that I was getting, but now it makes absolutely perfect sense. I went to pull a card and another one dropped out as well with it. So we have two cards today. We have the moon and we have the star in reverse. Now, I don't use reversals, so this is quite interesting. So when a reversal comes up, it is it's of massive importance. So the moon, I mean, we know the moon, okay? Anybody who watches these videos knows about this. And if we have a look at that card, initially it looks quite dark, okay? And the moon is all about the unknown, and the moon is all about fear. And if we go with the pattern of how the cards have been of late, this is about us facing our fears. But when it's dark and when we're in the nighttime, things cannot appear clear, okay? We are in the dark, so to speak, or if we are experiencing a dark time, or we are in the dark night of the soul, it can be scary and we can question ourselves. I often see the moon as the card of like artists and creatives and poets and stuff like that. And if you think, there's a fine line they used to say between genius and madness. And now what we get is there's so many children and things like that who have these creative minds, who have these, anybody who's an empath, anybody who is a creative, they will know the stuff that goes on in your mind as well, because it's not always pretty. Sorry, I forgot to turn my phone off there. It's not always pretty, and our mind can play tricks on us, but our mind is also such a beautiful thing as well. And there are a lot of children, and adults as well now, where their creativity is stifled. There's a great film, I can't remember it. It's about fire, something about fire. And it's about how a creative is actually told to stop, and they're given medication to stop as well, because it, like I say, it doesn't fit in with the norm. But when we have these creative stuff, sorry, what I'm trying to say here, what they're showing is like, it's if you think of these great musicians, these great artists, these great writers, these people. I mean, Rumi was writing, 800-900 years ago, and if you ever read his writings, they are so on point for today. But you look at all the fabulous music and everything that we have, the words that we have, the poetry, and a lot of these people were deemed to have this inner darkness, and that's because every single one of us has it. Okay, every single one of us should have dark thoughts at a time. We should allow our shadow side to come out, because that is sometimes where our inspiration comes from. This is like when we're in a dream state at night time, our subconscious can come through because our conscious is turned off. And this is what I see the moon as. It's not a fear, it's about the unknown, but look at the unknown, look at tarot cards, look at how fascinating these are, because there are stuff that can't be tapped into. Some people don't believe in this stuff, yet I do a reading for them, and when it comes true, they're flabbergasted, and they'll still think of a different reason for that, you know. So there is so much that we don't know, and that is a good thing, because this keeps us exploring, and this keeps us looking, and this is why we are seekers, you know. So like I say, this moon card is talking about overcoming your fears, or actually making friends with your fears, okay? Looking at really, what are you scared of? My daughter's terrified of wasps, okay? She hates them. She's not terrified of the wasp. She's terrified because when she was young, she was stung, and she doesn't want that pain again. So it's not that wasp, it's what that wasp done. A lot of us are like this within love. We're frightened to venture fully into it because we've been hurt in the past. But that hurt in the past and that darkness we felt when it ended has only made us appreciate the light more. So this is what I feel the moon is coming in here. And if we have a look, that moon's pretty damn sexy. That's not scary, you know. And like I say, this is what we need to do. We need to embrace it, and we need to tackle our fears, and we need to go into the unknown. You know, if you take the moon away, okay, and you go out on a night time, what is it? It's pitch black. There's nothing there. When you have the moon, that moon illuminates, you know, that moon illuminates. So that actually shows you the way. It might not show you the way as much as the sun, you know, but it does in its own way. Without the moon, it would just be blackness. So whatever darkness you are experiencing, or you have experienced, you know, there is always that little glimmer of light, you know, the light of the silvery moon. And we are very connected to the moon. You know, we react to the moon's phases. You know, that is how powerful it is. So if you're having these crazy thoughts or whatever in your head, rather than trying to stop them, look at them. Okay, analyze them, see why they're there. What little bit of genius is coming out of what you feel is madness, or what you are told is madness, because it will be there, you know. The moon is as important to us as the sun is. And if you think about the moon. If the moon didn't come out at night and the sky didn't go dark, we wouldn't know when to sleep. And if we didn't sleep, you know, we would end up, you know, like sort of like we're like walking zombies, you know, because we need sleep. The moon is often a time for us to analyze, to sort things out. Like I say, when we're in our dream state, you know, to tackle our fears and to face them. You know, Jim Morrison said, once you face your deepest, darkest fear, you know, then it has no control over you. So rather than being scared of the moon, embrace the moon and see what gift it is actually bringing to you, you know. If we have a look, there's Dobermans there, there's dogs, you know, that is there as a protection. So this darkness that you're coming is there in order to look after you and keep you safe, rather than actually like sort of dragging you into the underworld or dragging you into the depths of despair, you know. That you have protection there, you know, and you just need to tap into it. You know, the moon is calling to you to say, listen to what I've got to say. Listen to what you've got to say. You know, allow these thoughts to come in. So this is talking about, like, you know, sort of stopping our fears, you know, not being scared of the unknown, embracing it, because so much can happen in the unknown. You look, you know how many people go out and look at the moon and say, God, it's a beautiful moon today. Yet when they see the tarot card, the moon, they get scared. You know, it doesn't make sense. So we're told that it's dark on a nighttime. We're told that it's scary, you know, but it's not. Sometimes in the dark, you can actually see more, because what you do, you know, is your senses kick in. You know, your primal senses kick in. So you feel your way in the dark. Okay, you have like an internal vision, you know, that actually will guide you where to go. So it's actually a beautiful, beautiful thing. Sometimes our darkness is what will help us to shine so bright when we come out of it, you know. And sometimes it can take some adjusting. Our eyes need to, you know, adjust to the light when we come out of the darkness. But, you know, we then embrace it, you know. And how many times have you done that? You know, if there's a power cut or something like that, and as soon as the lights go on, everybody cheers, and it's like, yay, you know, that's it. But in that dark, what happened? I loved it when I was a kid, and we used to get power cuts a lot. I think it was something to do with Thatcher Britain or something like that, but I'll not go into that. But what used to happen in the dark was we would light candles and we would play games. People stopped watching TV. We would play cards. We would play games. We would talk, you know. So that darkness was actually a time of unity and a time of coming together, rather than it being a scared, horrible time. We forgot our daily sort of routine of sitting in front of a box, you know, with other people talking. We started to talk and communicate to each other. So this is what this is saying, this card, you know. Your darkness, if you're feeling it at the moment, this will be leading you to other people who will get you, who will understand it, because they've seen their darkness too. They've been there. You know, so it's a beautiful, beautiful card, this. You know, let it illuminate you. It is not coming to take you into the dark. It is coming to illuminate you and to show you the way. You know, it's beautiful. I love, love, love the moon. We then have the star in reverse, and what this is talking about, the star is a beautiful card, and if you think it's like shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you'll end up on like with the stars, and the stars are wishes that are coming true. They're hopes, they're dreams, it's renewal, it's cleansing. It's such a beautiful card, but it's in reverse here. So what that's saying is you are allowing your hopes and dreams to fall away. You know, the darkness seems too dark, and you seem too scared, and you think, I'm not going to fight it anymore, this is it, I'm just going to succumb to what this is. And that is no good, because your hopes and dreams are still there. It's just in your head they're not. You know, something might seem too hard. It seems too hard to get out of it, you know. But after the darkness always comes light. You know, when that sun goes down on a night time, you know, you don't fear that it's not going to come up again in the morning. You know it. You have this deep knowing in you that it will. You'll wake up in the morning, whether you've had a nightmare or what, you wake up in the morning and that sun is up there in the sky again, and things are light, and things that seem dark at the time and things that seem hidden are suddenly, you can see them again. And this is what it's saying, do not give up hope. Your faith is all that you have, you know, and your faith will get you where you want to be. You know, if you don't have a dream, there was a guy I met when I was travelling once. I keep meaning to get it tattooed on me somewhere, but I don't. And he'd said a man without a dream is a man without a future. And what happens when we give up our dreams, we usually fill the space with drama. And it's the poor me, and it's the woe is me, and it's I can't do this, and life is too hard. Yes, life is hard, but life is also very beautiful. And you do not embrace or appreciate the beautifulness of life until you have been in that darkness, you know. Look at the winter, you know, some people love winter. I hate it. I hate the cold. I hate it. I go very, very internal. But in the winter, I usually learn a lot about myself. And then that day when I walk out and I feel the first rays of the sun on my skin, it's like, right, okay, you know, here comes the sun. And this is it, you know, so I appreciate it more. When it's there all the time, it's like, oh, it's too hot. I can't be bothered to work in this, you know. So sometimes we have to have things taken away a little bit in order to realise what we've got when we've got them and have that appreciation. And this card is saying, don't give up on your dreams. Don't, you know, you cannot do that. You know, it's like you're starting to feel disengaged. You're starting to feel uninspired in some way, you know. And sometimes that is a good thing, because if you're feeling that you don't get it or people don't get you, then maybe that's because they don't, and maybe it's your time to move on, you know. So whatever you're feeling uncertain about now, tap into that uncertainty, because it's trying to show you the way, you know. So this is testing your faith. It's not about a loss of it. It's actually seeing how strong is your faith. How much do you want this? How much do you want change? And how much do you want this beautiful life? Because it's there, but you might have to scramble around in the dark a little bit for it. But it is there, and that star will come up. And if we have a look, that star is wanting to guide you to where you need to be. You know, if you think of, you know, explorers, they didn't just go out in the daytime, you know, they went out at night. They'd done all of these. It was an expedition. It wasn't easy. but there was gold at the end of it. There was enlightenment at the end of it. They found what they'd been searching for, you know. And a lot of people navigate their way through the stars as well. So if you turn your stars off and turn your hopes and dreams off, then what are you doing this for? You know, you've got to have a dream. You've got to. When I pulled these cards this morning, the song that they started playing in my head was Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. And I was thinking, that's really weird because we had the Chariot card yesterday. These have nothing to do with chariots. And what does the song Swing Low, Sweet Chariot mean? It was playing. It's playing now, you know. And the song Swing Low, Sweet Chariot was actually a song that was sang by slaves. And what they said was it was coded. It was coded messages teaching the slaves how to escape. That's what it was about, you know. And them slaves, when they were singing it, they had that hope, you know, that there was that little bit of glimmer in the darkness, that they could free themselves and be free again, you know. So, like I say, it ties in absolutely perfectly with this, you know. Them slaves were in the darkness, you know, but they had this hope and they were looking for the signs, the hidden signs. You know, that if they were plastered all over, go this way, you need to do that. Somebody would have took them down and other people would have seen them. So this is like sort of the spiritual aspect of the world, the universe, trying to give you hidden coded signs on how to escape the humdrum. You know, so tap into this moon and tap into this star reversed, you know, and get that faith back up. Because this is not about a negative outcome. You know, maybe it's money that some of you are worried about. You need to go through this really hard time, you know, and this is what will transform you. This is when you will be awake. You think after the night time, we all wake up in the morning, and this is what it's saying, you know. So keep believing in the universe, keep believing in you, and keep believing in your dreams as well. You know, this is a little test of your faith. But I know that you can do it, and I know that because I know I've done it, and I'm nothing special, and I've done it on so many different occasions, and then my dreams change and I go through the darkness again. But then I also, you know, my dreams change and I get them, and every dream I've ever had I've done. You know, this is a dream working here doing this, you know. But that hasn't came easy. You know, I thought about it last night, and I thought, people have said to me for years, why don't you get a proper job? And I got a message this morning from somebody, a girl called Pink. So thank you so much. That touched my heart massively. And I looked at it and I thought, that's why I didn't get a proper job. You know, that's why I went through the struggle, because the stuff that I do not only helps me, but it helps others as well, you know. And if I took the easy way out, you know, what would I be doing? My soul, I would be sitting in a call centre or something like that, you know, and I would be existing and not living. So yes, it was hard, but yes, it was worth it. And this is why I can sit and say this to you. This is not me just reading words that I've had in a book. This is experience, you know, and I know it. And I spoke to one of my friends today who has been through something I cannot even describe. I don't even know how they have got through it. And I said, I don't know how you got through it. And they went, because I had to. That was the chance, you know, and I said, that is why you're my friend. That is why I love you. That is why I have the utmost admiration for you, you know, because that's it. You didn't just give in, you know, you carried on, because that is the only thing that we can do. We then have the Colette Baron Reid card, and this is called Chop Wood. And this is quite an interesting card, okay? And what came to me when I first seen this is about chopping wood. You know, people think it's sort of like a boring task or whatever. But you chop wood in order to put it on that fire so that fire can burn so that you can feel better. You know, if you didn't chop that wood, you would go cold. You know, so when people in the past used to, you know, fire was their way of cooking, they would have gone hungry had they not chopped the wood. So this is, you know, people say, oh yeah, chopping wood, it's just boring. It's essential, you know. So this is saying you need to do things in order to get where you want to go. It's not just going to happen. We don't wake up on a morning just suddenly enlightened and we don't know the answers, you know. We get them through our testing times. Often our good times, we don't learn that much. You know, it's our testing times, you know, that teach us so much, You know, so this is saying, you know, life can be chaotic. It can be miserable. It can be dark. It can be peaceful. It can be happy. It is everything. It is everything in between. And this is why we have these emotions, you know. So chopping wood here is not just a mundane task. It takes skill, it takes concentration, it takes physical effort, it takes balance. If you're swinging that axe and you're off balance, you could end up damaging yourself. So it's telling you that you need to be steady and you need to be stable with this, and you need to have patience, you know. But you need to put the work in as well. If you want to fulfill a goal, or if you want your ambitions to be fulfilled, you've got to be inspired and motivated. You know, if you give up hope like this, you're never going to get anywhere. You know, you're not. You just stop. So this is saying, what motivates you? What inspires you? Where is it you want to go? Because this is saying, you know, in the spiritual truth of things and in your spiritual life, there is nothing holding you back, only you. So get out of your own way, you know, start to believe again. Believe in the universe, but believe in you, and believe that you can have anything that you desire. Everything is within reach. You know, but sometimes you have to stretch so high for it. My degree show was all about that. It was all different keys and they were all suspended by fishing wire. And it was in a dark room. I didn't even realise that there. It was a black room. And you could hear crying and laughing, and there was all of this stuff going on. And it was like there was a door at the end of it, and there was light coming out of that door, but there was 3,500 keys suspended. It looked like they were just suspended in the air because you couldn't see the fishing wire. And it might have been that one that was right in front of your face that you just picked like that. Or it might have been that one way up high that opened that door at the end. But unless you tried, and you tried different keys, you know, you would never get through that door at the end. You know, so that was the metaphor about life, and I didn't, you know, I wasn't as knowledgeable then, but that was what came to me. So this is it, you know, it will take work and it will take effort, and it doesn't come easy, you know. We have no sweetness without sweat. You know, that's it. Everything takes hard work. I've said this before, you know, so this is about believing in yourself and believing that you can live the life that you want to be. The law of attraction is a very, very powerful thing. And if you think you can't, you know, or you think you can, you're right. So it's up to you, this, you know. So like I say, this is about taking the step. This is about stepping into the darkness, making friends with the darkness and seeing what it is trying to teach you as well, you know. So this is what you need to do. I love them cards today. I really, really love them. I'm going to pull a spirit card as well here, you know. I mean, look at that. That door is open. Look at the beautiful light afterwards, you know. It's gorgeous, but like I say, we need to do the work, you know. That's it. In order to get to the light, you've got to get through the dark, you know. But don't be afraid of the dark. The dark is not a scary place. The dark is actually, it's very peaceful. And sometimes when it's dark and when it's quiet, that is when you can hear loudest, you know. So I hope that makes sense to you. Right. Oh, completely, I don't know why this one has come in, but there you go. It's sexuality. And this is saying an influx of sexual energy is coming your way. Embracing both masculine and feminine aspects of the self creates wholeness. It is safe for you to express your sexuality in whatever way you choose, provided you do it lovingly. Right, okay, this is one of the times when I don't know how this card actually fits with this. I'm asking them, right, why does this come in? Right, okay. What I'm getting here, and I don't know how much this makes sense because I haven't had time to process it. If we have a look at that card, this woman is tapping in, okay? She is taking things in through her third eye, and they are talking here about ecstasy, okay? And when we are engaging in sexual activity, it is usually we are heightened. We lose control a lot of times, you know. We get very primal, you know. It's a primal act. But, you know, most of us do it. Some of us don't do it as often as we would like to. But, you know, it's something there. It's in all of us, you know. And what we're doing there is we're giving into the control. Some people are scared of it. But why be scared of something that can actually create new life? They're saying there. You know, that is it. I remember, again, talking about my degree show, I'd done a piece of art and I painted it was about a 20-foot painting of a vagina. And I called it power. We were looking at power and I called it power. And I said that this is where life comes from. This is where life is formed and everything. And it was deemed pornographic and they wouldn't show it. I wasn't allowed to exhibit it because they said it was pornographic. Yet there was... You know, there was so much other stuff. So there was a lot of stuff about war shown, you know. So I'd done another piece which was all camouflage. It was all done in wax and everything. And I'd done it and I'd scribed into it, a hand on a cock is more moral and fun than a finger on a trigger. And they allowed me to show that. And I showed the difference in, you know, the fact that something that is perfectly natural was deemed pornographic and obscene and wrong and not to be seen. Yet within images of war, people can turn on their TV, children can turn on their TV at 10 o'clock in the morning and see images of war, and that is deemed okay. So to me, a natural act of sex and, you know, that brings power, that gives you power, you know, that allows you to exchange power as well, was seen to be obscene, yet killing another person was actually deemed okay, you know. I found it madness. And I think this is what this is trying to say, that, you know, within an act like this is something that is natural, okay? This is a natural act. And, you know, us to live a life of ecstasy, of bliss, of utmost joy, where we are completely free. We are at our most vulnerable, but we are also at our most powerful, you know, during this. And this is what we need to be within life. We need to take this into life, you know, and we need to embrace this energy that we have, you know, because we have this energy. And when we tap into it, you know, this is when we can regain our power. Okay? So I hope that made sense. I'm really going to have words with them there, because that is like, you know, it's like, come on. But I hope that explanation that they've just given me has in some way explained that. Okay? So, like I say, you know, I never know what I'm going to get. It's like, what is it? It's like a pick and mix. I never know what I'm going to get with this. But I hope that made sense to some of you, you know, and that final card might have made sense to some of you as well, you know, because I do know that people do have issues around that situation. I'm not going to go massively into this because it's not for everybody else, but, you know, there is a way to conquer all of these as well, you know, and often it's going through that dark time, you know, and this is where you see the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay? And if you think they've just said to me there, right, they've just said to me there, when we are birthed, you know, after that act, when we are birthed, the first thing we see is this light at the end of a tunnel, you know. That is it. That's what most of us have experienced, you know, as our first ever sight within life, right? That's quite interesting. Right, okay, if anybody would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. The link is below. Some people are saying they can't get in touch with my website, they can't find it. The link is below to all of my social media and everything like that, you know, so just press the little button, it's a little arrow, press that, it'll expand, and all of my details are there, okay? You can book through there, you can go on my Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. And like I say, please, if you like these videos, please, can you like them, share them, you know, and comment as well. I love the comments, but that does massively help me and massively help this channel as well, you know, and I hope that these messages do help you, because that is the intent of them. Okay, so I'm sending a lot of love today. Sat now.